Trish is not here tonight at the meeting. She's on the phone, so she's doing a call in. We're going to have Vanessa read the prior board minutes.
The meeting was called to order at 7:01 p.m. by Don Hanson. A quorum of the board was established. President was Don Hanson, Jeff Senate, Linda Sutter, and Tricia Miner. Also present was Vanessa Martinez and William Manager. The meeting was posted at the entrance port at the committee clubhouse 48 hours in advance of this meeting. The January 7, 2014 meeting minutes were read by Mrs. Miner. Mr. Senate motion to approve the minutes as presented on the year was changed from 2013 to 2014. The motion was seconded by Mrs. Sutter. All in favor, motion passed unanimously. Mr. Hanson made a motion to approve the closed meeting minutes from December 12, 2014. The motion was seconded by Mr. Jeff Senate. All in favor, motion carried. Ms. Martinez reviewed the management report and delinquencies. Mr. Senate gave a brief update on financial status of the committee. New business. A motion to clarify the current board member status. Mr. Hanson made a motion to clarify that the board of directors consists of 5 board members. 2 additional seats will be elected and voted on at the annual election, increasing the board from 5 to 7 members. The motion was seconded by Mr. Senate. All in favor, motion carried. Motion to fill vacancy board of directors position. There were five members who expressed their interest in serving on the board. Each candidate introduced himself and gave a short speech. Before voting, Mrs. Miner expressed that she did not be comfortable voting on filling the position as enough notice was not given to the owners to submit their intent to be a candidate. After a brief discussion, a motion was made by Mr. Hanson to fill a vacancy at this meeting and nominate Mrs. Preston to fill the vacancy. The motion was seconded by Mrs. Sutter. Mr. Senate voted yes. Mrs. Miner voted no. Majority voted yes. Motion passed. Motion to nominate and affirm the new president. After a brief discussion, Mr. Hanson made a motion to nominate Mrs. Sutter as the new board president. The motion was seconded by Mr. Senate. Mrs. President voted yes. Mrs. Miner voted no. The majority voted yes. Motion carried. Motion to hire OCSO deputy for the board of director meetings. Mrs. Miner made a motion to hire Orange County Sheriff's Office deputy. No one seconded the motion. Motion did not pass. Motion to implement sergeant at arms. Mr. Hanson made a motion to appoint sergeant at arms for the board of director meetings. The motion was seconded by Mr. Senate. Mr. Anderson volunteered for this position. Mrs. Sutter and Mrs. Preston voted yes. Mrs. Miner voted no. The majority voted yes. Motion passed. Rules and regulations for annual meeting. Mr. Hanson provided a draft of the rules and regulations he created to the board. The board will review and make suggestions on changes that must be made. The final draft will be sent to the association attorney to review on January 27, 2014. Motion to have Claim McCullough present at the separate board of directors meeting to explain the developer's amendment change made the day before turnover. Mrs. Miner made a motion to have Claim McCullough come to the meeting. The motion was not seconded. Motion did not pass. Without further questions from the homeowner, for additional comments from the board, the board of directors meeting adjourned at 8:36 p.m.
Do we have a motion to approve these minutes with the correction of the year where it said December 12, 2014? It should be 2013. And that is on the first page, 6th item down. Motion? Okay. Motion to approve minutes.
Second. Tricia? Aye.
Is that an aye?
Okay. Thank you.
It's the same update that I gave on January 16th, as this is the December 31st, 2013 financials to have January 15th of this month. Just a quick update, as of December, our accounts receivable was at $372,913.48. 5 homes changed ownership in the month of December. 46 properties are going through mortgage foreclosure that are currently in the delinquent under assessments. 24 properties have declared bankruptcy. Of these, 9 have been discharged and we are moving forward with collections. We collected $16,216.83 in the month of December in delinquent assessments. Currently, there are 65 accounts that are at the attorney for collections. The association will credit to 5 properties in the community ordinance on both one. And open roadscape invoices have been paid. The jump in the conservation area still, I believe, is still there. The revising were done, and the kiddie pool is currently working, and we have passed inspection. Any questions?
I have a question, since I'm new on board. These 5 homes that we own, are they costing us anything, or?
Not really. I mean, we're not having them. We're just
Okay, they're just sitting there.
haven't made any repairs.
Okay.
We have an outstanding offer from Ron Kalish to, kind of analyze the situation. There was an attempt, but I think Tricia was interested in doing that, but nothing materialized. So, I'd like to, take up Ron on that offer. I mean, is that still open? Just to kind of see where we're at, make an assessment, and see if we can turn this around and start earning something on this. It appears to me that the management companies that are involved aren't doing anything on our behalf. They're not moving. They let a bunch of appliances that we furnished one of the homes with, we just let it slip through our fingers. And so, if Ron can offer his expertise, I think that's a worthwhile thing to do. Just do an analysis, make a recommendation, and if we can make some money, fine, let's do it,
Be glad.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. Is the rest of the board agreeable with that or what?
I am agreeable to that. I would also like to say that we should touch bases with Stacy. Thank you. Stacy Kelly. She knows a real estate company that is involved in this type of thing, and they've got proper paperwork that we want to push into to start running these properties, which I would like to see us do that now that Linda and I are finding out more about how this thing works. I think that we're losing out on potential revenue.
Yeah, we have it.
Well, the only problem I have with that is if we put a lot of HOA money into them, we can't do that. It's just like the one that slipped through our fingers with the appliances. We lost that money.
The one that Stacy has, they flip the money up front, and there's no cost to it. So they make the recommendation on what repairs they can make to get this property up and running.
Okay, so what are you saying? You want to take a rock, or we
Yes.
also want to have Stacy offer anything also?
I'd like to get Stacy involved too.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you want them to work, they work together or independent assessments? How do you envision this?
We can do independent. It might become hard for them to match their schedules because they're both busy.
If Ron went out and did an assessment on these 5 homes to see how much money it would cost, then we can contact the real estate company that Stacy's got and see if they're interested in pursuing any one of those 5 properties.
I'll just give you a written evaluation
Okay.
proposal.
Okay. So now you have to get your hands on the keys to all these places, right?
I have the keys that can jump off the clubhouse.
So key to each individual.
Yes.
Further matches.
Okay. All right, well, thank you.
Yeah, that's very happy.
All right, can I just offer a couple things on the financials here? I don't know what happened for December, but again, we've got a lot more detail than what we need. And I thought that we had these out this issue. We have a list of all prepaid expenses and stuff of various types and nature, and it's just not necessary. We need the abbreviated versions to appear in every single one. Can you put that in the minutes and please make a note to share that with Nancy?
Yeah, I think she sent the revised.
Well, we're not looking at it. We want the abbreviated version of the balance sheet on one page, nice and abbreviated, not with all this mock out, all this detail. And we discussed this previously, and that's what we really need. You can put that right in the minutes that we want the abbreviated version that's nice and concise. That's, and on a go-forward basis, not to have to look at this. It's way too messy. Nancy knows the version I'm talking about. Okay? And so far as the financials go, the revenue for the whole year, okay? We ended up the whole year with a net income situation. So basically, the budget was, in total, it was like 1.4 million, and for total expenses, and actually it was 1.4, and the budget was about 1.5. So what it was pretty close on the expense side, but on revenue, we actually lost about the same amount. So, and it was mainly due to the rental properties. So the bottom line was that $15,000 we were under the budget basically on the net, on total expenses and the bottom line. So that's a good thing. props to Leland for helping us manage that, because things looked a little tough up front, first couple months of the year. Our rental income was like dragging us down, and we were under budget so far as, what it looked like year to date. But, during the course of the year, what really saved us was that we saved a lot of money on landscaping. And when we got rid of blade runners, Crochet came on, CYPRESS and everything, so bottom line is, it turned out pretty well. And I guess we got the audit coming up pretty soon. We're scheduled to have that done, I guess maybe a March timeframe, I think. So, we'll see what they come up with. They generally have an adjustment so far as as to the bad debt expense. They tend to be very conservative, and they'll probably write up more. So this 15,000 we're looking at, that might go away. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell, and we just hope that we can continue that trend for 2014. So that's it. So far as the action items go over here, the bathroom air dryers, accelerator makes it really, Excel has a model called an accelerator. I think it's called XL, XB. I've got photos of it and stuff I can
Is that
forward.
what you sent me?
Yeah, the other day. Yeah.
I just didn't hear anything else.
It's a really good model. I've actually seen it in many places and stuff. It's powerful. It dries your hands really quickly. Go for about $400 unless someone can find it cheaper. I tried to poke them out. I couldn't find it cheaper. It just seems like it's one of those things that, if you're a licensed distributor, like so that just
So are you supposed to put one in each bathroom or two?
I would say one is sufficient.
Yeah.
I don't
Because
think
we're
that's
still,
much.
we're going to have that, plus we would still be having paper towels that might cut down on the use of
Well,
paper
I would
towels.
say let's lose paper towels. Do we really need both? I mean, the whole purpose of the air and the
I think it's to get rid of the paper towel.
we can have the dispensers taken off the wall and those, spackle and paint it and fire the fire.
In the handicap stalls, do they have a sink and a paper towel in there?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I want to think about putting on there as well.
Handicap too.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
two and
yeah, before,
Four.
so it'd be four, yeah. Four. Anybody else have anything to say about the hand dryers? And they're $400 each, right? And you have to find it cheaper?
Well, I mean,
That's what he's recommended.
Yeah.
You guys,
yeah. I mean, if anyone can find it cheap, that's fine.
Yeah, because we get four, and that's like $1,600, so. Maybe one in there.
There's dollars in the budget for, all that repairs and stuff.
And obviously, we've done some research on this, so. Trish, you have anything to add to that?
For the hand dryer?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
We have done pressure here, how we feel it in the people house.
Yeah, that's what he's saying, to eliminate the paper towels and to just put the hand dryers in. Hey,
Some people don't like me.
I want to send me the miles on record check with some of my suppliers.
okay. All right.
Okay, I
Can
can
you
forward
do
that.
that? Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, some people don't like those electric hand dryers, but
I get over it.
you get over it.
The ones that are super fast, they almost are faster than if you were to get a paper towel.
They almost feel like spot.
Yes, I think we need at least one in each bathroom because there are baby changing stations in there. And you're going to dry baby, like hold on to the dryer, People want to be able to clean up and stuff like that. And when
So we need some kind of hand towel.
Yeah, it'd be like one.
At least one dispenser.
Yeah. That's true.
Leave it in there.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
There you go, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are we saying? You don't need a hair dryer and a handicap?
I recommend you have roll.
Well, Abe's gonna check on the price, see if he can get it.
Right, but what we're talking about is the handicap. Whether or not we want towels and hair.
We would probably have to have both
Right?
in that one, do you think?
I mean, don't people bring back their own little wipes, little butt wipers,
Most moms
they're not,
I don't know if it's
Yeah.
do that much and your baby has a rash. So they do have their own problem.
Well, why don't we
So to speak.
see if what they can do for price right now? And then, but I don't see a problem having them in there. It's more sanitary.
And
No, you don't. Trish, do you have any comments? Trish?
Yeah.
Do you have any comments?
Are you looking at the hand dryer?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to use the hand dryer. I think exactly a lot like hand dryer will work, but I do know it's legal to feel it has to be available.
Okay.
Maybe one is not clear on that.
Yeah, we're talking about putting one in each bathroom, like the men's and the women, either in the handicap or where the baby changing is, and then putting that hair dryer or the hand dryers in there. Not hair dryers. Okay. So do we want to vote to put them in based on if, at this price or based on a cheaper price then?
Well, what we send it to Avi, and we say, we've done the time up to this point, we can vote on it next meeting.
Well, I just want to make sure we do what you.
No, it's like, if we could, if Avi can find it cheaper, we could save a few dollars, we'll just use that elsewhere, so.
Okay.
Hopefully, why don't we make it the goal that we vote on at next meeting?
Your circuits available while you
I guess TDD, we'll have to, get electrician and stuff, and we're gonna talk all that stuff over there, so.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Next up is suspension of rights for collection.
There's a list included in your packet, up until 90, there's no price adjustment, you look into suspending.
Yeah. Did you guys all hear that? Including 90, number 90.
Okay, I have a motion that we suspend up to number 90.
A second.
All those in favor? Aye. Trish? We were motioning to suspend up to number 90 on the list that you can't see. Number 90 on the list. When we suspend the rights of members, we usually have a list that Vanessa supplies.
Yes.
So we made a motion, and all in favor, aye, and you are in favor, or? Okay, thank you.
Don, you want to give us an update on the pool? Is it
It's-
totally finished?
it's done.
Okay. All right. Yes.
One thing, real quick.
Well, somebody emailed a picture of a loose screw at the bottom of the pool.
I couldn't see that picture, and we looked out there.
I couldn't see the
They sent it to
picture.
you?
Yeah, we got the email, but we couldn't see the
There was
picture.
no,
Yeah, I couldn't see it on.
there was no picture attached to mine.
Okay. Let me show you real quick.
And she said it was also plastic to go into that.
Yeah, we didn't know exactly where that was out there either.
Ricardo, do you know where it is? Because plastic is going to have
Yeah, go out there.
Yeah.
Also looking at it this afternoon, couldn't find it.
We couldn't find it, so we don't exactly know where it is.
So that's
Okay, I'll dig it up and I'll show it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, we need a location when it happens.
Yeah,
They can't wander around. Yeah.
94 Fort Fair, 64 Fort Fair.
Okay, do you want to, do any update on the two?
I can,
Mushroom?
well, the mushrooms, I believe it's up and running.
We just passed inspection on it.
Yeah.
We just got notified that we passed inspection. What I want to know is, I think I sent you an email on that, is who works on paying for that inspection?
I also called Brian up and voice on.
Yeah, because it's really, them, but because we didn't pass inspection, so.
What I suggested to Brian and to Rebecca was to send an invoice She may send you an email.
Okay. Yeah, I had left my voice and I also got a copy of it, so.
Okay, John, can we just update on the website?
Website. We had a minor glitch in the email addresses for the ARC. It was discovered.
Can we go back to the pool and
Sure.
figure out any questions?
Well, we're going to
Yeah,
have
that's
a
fine.
it's on the agenda.
Okay, I thought you was just trying to.
No, this is twice.
No, December.
Thank you.
Anyway, yeah, we had a minor glitch with the website, and it was discovered and it was corrected. Several months ago, we made a decision to upgrade the website to handle additional emails. So anytime we email like the board of directors or the ARC, we can create another group. There's groups for committees. We can create even ad hoc groups and for any types of committees. Their emails will be embedded inside of that. So when you go to that particular, let's just say you go to the board, there's emails behind that that can be changed easily with a phone call, rather than having someone's personal email show up like we had before. That just didn't work too well. So that's been corrected. And that's all we've got for news on the website.
I have something I want to add here. Since this glitch on the ARC was fixed, we've had complaints from the ARC committee. And in regard to the applications that are sent, they don't want the application itself to be sent to online. But most everybody now is updating their technology and doing this as easier for the resident to submit. So I suggest to keep this, because some of these applications kind of got lost out in email land. For all applications to go to Leland, Jeff, this is where you come in.
Yeah, it actually.
And to Trish, because she is over ARC.
Yeah, actually, nothing got lost. Myself and Leland was copied. Basically, we emailed ERC at services@gateway.com, sent a copy to my web admin at services@gateway.com, and Leland Management, ARB@lelandmanagement.com. Leland Management was spelled wrong. So, the good thing about having this list of properties for these two people is I had a backup of everyone, was able to send the message very quickly. So at least having two places, let's say Leland's server goes down, our server goes down, we've always got a copy, we've got a backup.
Right.
So that's why it was very easy to fix that, and we were trying to figure out who sent us an application and how do we fix what we don't know the problem is.
Well, and the whole thing is, it had nothing to do with you or Leland, it was actually at home.
Right.
That where the glitch came in, is the misspelling.
I have a question. What was, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay. What is the email, you left the email from the change application, ARC application, and that's correct?
Yes,
It's on the physical, the paper copy of the application?
Yes. It used to be ARC and it was management, and now it was ARC. Now, I might make one.
It's still ARC at services@gateway.com.
did you hear that? It's still ARC@CYPRESS.com, HOA.com.
Yeah, okay. And that's how all the applications got, that's really how they all got lost.
Well, plus the misspelling of Leland.
No, they got lost because the email address behind that was misspelled. Okay?
If you look at the budget,
Yes, that's where they emailed it to. And it went to Jeff's email, and it went to an email that was misspelled, and that was the problem.
Okay, so that's the concept, the email address, supposed to be ARC@management.com.
No,
ARC.
it's to
That's
be,
the email that's behind the ARC email, that's the application. So basically, when they send it to the ARC at Cypress Gateway, it's gonna go to the administrator, and it's also gonna go to Leland, ARB, to that email you're talking about.
and we can add other emails to that. We can put the chairperson of the ARC committee on that, we could put yours on there, we could put anybody's on there. They'll all get
don't want each individual, your email to be on there, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
I have a question about the process at Leland. When you receive it, do you email the sender back to say you received it? Okay, I would suggest from our side or from Leland's side, let the person who sent it know. We received your application. If you have any questions, contact XYZ. From my website, for my company, when someone makes a payment on one of the packages they purchase, I send them back to our website to a page that says, thank you, we received your payment. It'll be updated in your account in X amount of hours. So maybe there's some process we add to that makes it so the person sends it and they'll feel like, did someone get it? I don't know. It's just a thought.
I'm going to talk there, I'm not sure. So I don't deal with that, that's the area department, so I'm going to see what way I can do that.
It would be an automatic one.
It could be
I
automatic.
know the website, you can do it. The websites that have the communities that do that, like if they send a request for a landscaping or something,
Yeah.
is it automatic? As soon as they submit it, they'll say, here, contact, the manager, this is her number, and whatever. So I think through app and that, you can do that.
Okay, I think it's a key form, but I'll look into that. I'm just trying to make sure that,
Yeah.
I look at it as a customer point of view. All the memberships are community customers. How do we make sure that when they start the process and end it, they know that they're being taken care of? So,
If there's an email, we all
It should be added on the application when you fill it out on the bottom. You will be notified that you received it because they're not going to know to receive it.
and that is actually what it is.
I mean, I'm not, you know that I'm on the rest of my committee. So when I'm passing something out, I expect that the board already approved it. I'm not going to think it's something that I'm passing out and not knowing if it's actual facts or if someone made it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's not
It
made
needs to
up.
be sanctioned properly through the right channel.
Well, the link that was updated should have that update. I can check it right now. Very certain that that's updated.
The one on the website.
The one on the Facebook group for the village reps.
Facebook.
Facebook group. So I think you were someone that asked something about it, and I said, here's the most recent one that I was working on. And it was basically updating all the information through the board, the director's word, all the relevant information. So that
Okay, we're going to move forward. I want to ask if there's anybody in the room here that would like to volunteer for the ARC, that is not currently serving on it, that would like to. Annie? Well, why I ask is because we have members on there that have served well over the stated time that's in our documents. The service time is supposed to be for a year, okay? And there's some people that's serving 2, 3, or more years on there. And in my opinion, I would be getting kind of burnt out doing all of that. So we need to get some new people in and start volunteering to do this stuff. Kathy, you want to join? They meet once a month, and Trish handles the ARC. I think you'd be good. Yeah.
I think I'll think about it.
All right.
I mean, that's better than a no.
Yeah, it's better than a no, but, you know, and you do it, you know, if you can go out with them and they don't all meet every single time. There are times when they don't meet, but, I mean, everybody.
So who gets the application?
Trish gets them, they take them from the website. From the website.
No, no.
From Leland.
No,
Leland
no,
Board.
no, no, no,
Fresh
yeah,
member.
with the application.
Yeah.
How many times do you have to meet?
Once a month is when they usually meet. I think it's what, the last Wednesday of the month?
How many hours does this usually?
The monthly meeting is generally about an hour, maybe less, and the drive around time is maybe 30 minutes. Very minimal investment of time.
How many people are there right now?
I think we can have 5, right, Trish?
Yeah.
Trish?
Yes.
It's, I don't know if we lost her or
I
what.
wanted to argue, I guess we have 5 contacts.
Yeah,
You have 5.
yeah, but I'm thinking that 2 or 3, they're probably getting burnt out because they've served way over the year of time.
We have got 8
process works before we move on, okay? Because their year time is going to be up here coming up at the election. So I want to have people in place to be able to do this, because I mean, you can't expect somebody to volunteer forever. You know, that's just, it's a lot of time. I think you can. I think you can, because I've done ARC in the past, a long time ago, and I had very minimal training. It was kind of on-the-job training, and I learned as I went. So I really think with the people that's already on there, with your guidance, Ron's on there, he's been on there, what, 3 months? Yeah. And then you mentioned Lisa Holshiger that's been on there. So she's fairly new. But if we can get some newer people on there too, just to take up the slack and to give people a break. Because the ones that served for a long time, I mean years, that's kind of overextending.
Ron's on there?
So,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, I'll do it if Ron's on
So
there.
you want to do it too? Interesting.
You won't let me go astray.
Okay.
You're gonna love it.
Christina and Danny and Kathy is a maybe, correct?
Maybe.
Okay. When will you let me know? When will that be, a yes or no?
I'm sorry.
When can you let me know, yes or no?
How about next meeting?
Well, we'll have a meeting this month, so if anybody wants to volunteer, I want everybody to go to that is considering being on the committee.
What's this day, February?
It'll be.
3 weeks away, last Wednesday, the one.
Yeah,
When's that yearly?
it's not till April. It's gonna be April 2nd, yeah.
I
It's
think
our
you should
annual
know
meeting.
sooner because
Pardon?
how long do
The
you?
hopes are to attend the current meetings and maybe get some training.
Yeah, you get to just get oriented to the process and see
Do they need
what it
once a
all
month?
entails.
They need once a month?
Yeah.
All right, how about I come and see what they do?
Yeah.
And then,
Okay, so when the notice is put on the board out there, you'll know to come and meet, okay? And I think they meet around 6 o'clock.
We're gonna need a bigger bus.
You are. Okay. Thank you very much. And I'm sure people will appreciate that, appreciate your help, because it is a big job. I even had to go on 2 this week myself. So, okay. Discussing the ARC, and I know this is kind of running, but we're doing pretty good.
Okay, so you're gonna have, all right, so you were talking, people are coming out of here, and we immediately got 16. So now you're gonna have, come in March, you're having Christina, Danny, Lisa, and Ron, is that correct?
Well, Ron hasn't served a year yet. Anybody that's served longer than a year needs a break. And you're going to have Christina, maybe Kathy, Negron, that's a maybe, and Danny, that will be as volunteered to do this. So I want them to attend the meetings to get oriented to the process prior to the year term expiring for the people that's already on the ARC.
That's including me too.
Yeah, but you're a board member. You have to do it.
No, but you're not, yeah, so it's.
Well, you don't have to, but that's what you are over right now until we have the election. Yeah, we can get somebody else if you don't want to do it after the year, but we can also, we're going to be adding two more seats too, so we're going to have more people, and it's going to help a lot with the workload because we all have a huge workload. Okay?
so what if, each person just kind of did their own village?
It's however you decide you want to do it. If you don't, currently, I think they kind of go out together. And if you have applications that's in yours, I mean, I know this is how we used to do it. We would take each village. And I was assigned a couple of them, and then if somebody couldn't do one, I'd go to another one. It was random, whatever we needed to do to get them done. Plus, you have to have these in per our documents by the 30 days, because if you don't have it approved or unapproved within the 30 days, it's automatically approved. So we want to kind of move the process a little bit, because people get the bids and they're waiting on approval, and they're sitting there waiting. They've got the contractor, their price is only good for 30 days. So you want to get this moving so that they can go ahead with whatever they're doing, okay? And another thing now, I don't know how everybody feels about this, but this is one of my things. Not all communities charge an ARC fee. I've always thought that this was, in my mind, and I don't know that it is at all, but it's like you're getting punished for asking if you can improve your property because you have to pay to ask. I would like to discuss removing the $25 ARC fee.
I don't think so. I don't think it's a good idea.
How much of it is in income? How much do you make? How much do you get annually from it?
You want to put a fence?
It's not a lot. I think I saw in the budget, it was
No,
like,
here we go. I
Because
got
if
it.
I have
Jeff.
to spend my gas money that I'm volunteering for to drive around, I think,
All right, we had a question as to how much it was.
yeah.
For 2012, it was $3,150 that we collected. Let's see, for 2013, it was about $2,500 of that. And then what we did was we budgeted $1,500 for this year, not a lot. You know, we just budgeted a little bit less, so. I mean, it's not huge dollars. I mean, if we eliminated it, it's not gonna kill us, but, you know, I know we got a discussion on either side there, so.
Where does the money
Where
go?
does the money go?
To your account.
Yeah, just gets deposit, it gets deposited into our operating account.
Generate account.
Yeah.
Is there any reason, I mean, I understand, okay, you don't want people just throwing in applications. If it helps to manage the number of applications you're getting in a month, $25 if you're putting in a $30,000 pool is not really that big a deal. Is there any reason not to allocate money like that towards social events?
and they don't really pay either if they're doing the same thing. Like if you're painting the house the same color, they're not having a fee of 25, so it really, there's not a lot of people that.
Well, for people that want to just change, they're going to paint their house, okay, the house needs painting. But here they're going to spend this money, but they've got to pay somebody $25 to okay this.
To make sure
Well,
it's
what about
right.
this? How about your houses where you said you have to paint your house because it's just, it has to be painted? We don't allow, like, situations where we force the owner to be in, like, to do whatever work on the house, we don't charge them because they probably already don't have the money to do it, otherwise they would have already done it.
Well, you
And then
can't
people
pick and
work
choose.
collectively.
Yeah, I don't know
You
if
can't
that
pick and
penalizes
choose.
people.
It either has to be yes or no. Because I don't think you can say, okay, we're going to charge this guy because we know we can pay it, but these people can't, so we're going to waive it.
Well, it's
So
more like
it has to be
we're
yes or no.
forcing you
Yeah.
to paint your house in this case.
No, because that's just a given. You're supposed to do this.
Yeah.
So and some people, yes, they will go ahead and do things on their own. And they will do that because they have to pay it. I've heard the complaints about, why should I have to pay $25 to do something for my property?
To do something with.
I've heard of complaints too.
So, you know, it's just up for discussion.
So what about reducing it? If the amount is unreasonable, then you can reduce it. It still should prevent the people who are gonna just send applications in every other day. And it should lower it a little bit, so.
I kind of like Kathy's idea about using the money towards the social funds, but I think it's going somewhere, and people will be more susceptible to paying it.
And I'm okay with that too, because as long as it's going for something in the community, because we're, just like with social stuff, you're not always going to have sponsors for events. And by the way, what we have in there, I'll tell you later, but I'll not forget, we're going to have to use that money because we're going to pay taxes on it otherwise. So the upcoming thing, yeah, we'll be using that. Yeah. Okay. Jeff?
Did we pay any administrative fees for the processing? Okay. So I just want to make sure there wasn't anything.
No, that's just my notes here. And a lot of associations do not charge for this.
Right.
And we're one of the few that do. So it's just one more thing that the people, you know, pay their assessments and everything, but.
Just because we are also one of the few that have the amenities that we do and have the community functions that we do. So I think it might make it more palatable, and for me, if I were paying a $25 fee for the ARV, and knowing that it was going to a Christmas party in our community, I would be quite fine with that.
Now, a lot of people would, but there are people also that do not want any money spent for social
Then don't
events.
do improvements on your home.
That also might be.
Nice.
Love you, Kathy.
Use that money towards the couples.
Yeah, for repairs or anything. You can use it for anything. That's why it goes into the general operating.
It can go into the handwriting fund.
Yeah, it doesn't have anything specified for that.
Okay, so, board members, what do you think about this? Do you want to keep it? Is it enough to keep that we can use for repairs or whatever?
I've heard a lot of complaints about it, but then I've always thought it's trying to pay $25 to put it in the house, but, you know, that doesn't mean we shouldn't either, and I've never told any other subdivision.
Jeff?
I can go either way, it's like.
Yeah.
I can't
don't have a
too, I
problem
can't
with
too.
it, you know.
I can see it, but
Trish, what's your feeling on it? Are you on mute?
hello, Trish?
Are you on mute?
Yes, I will, sorry.
Okay.
What was that?
On the $25 fee, we're discussing whether to remove it or keep it on the ARC.
Did you hear the discussion on it?
I will, I'm thankful that so much.
Okay.
I heard you clearly.
Okay, that's because I'm sitting close to the phone. So what are your feelings on removing the $25 ARC fee or using it to go towards something specific like social events, or using it for not only social events but for clubhouse repairs, such?
How about choices? I would appreciate the ARC going to a social event. Or you're charging them for an application, they're paying for that fine.
Okay, so you think it's okay the way it is, just going into the general operating fund?
Yeah.
Okay, so you think we should keep it?
You know, I can go either way. I really can. So, I mean, I can just put it down for a month, so.
Let's vote.
I just got one thing to say.
I think
If
it's a
we-
good community thing.
If we eliminate this, it's probably going to be gone forever because it's going to be hard to get it back.
Exactly.
So once it's gone, it's gone.
I haven't heard any
So
complaints
why
about
don't
it.
we, keep it on this, table it for now and bring it up to the next meeting.
Okay. We could table, we could actually table
We talked
it.
about it enough.
I mean, it's a simple thing. I mean, either keep it or get rid of it.
I think people will be happier for the most part if they saw the money was actually coming back, something they benefit them. Now, not that the repair money doesn't benefit them, but I think they can see that,
If
the
you,
social media, they can see something that,
if you send it for any specific thing, you're gonna get complaints. Because, like I said, there's people in here that don't want any money going towards social things.
but you're already getting complaints about the $25 in general anyway, so you're
And I would prefer-
You can't win. It's 50-50.
Rebecca, you wanted to say something?
I just wanted to clarify something in my mind. Is the fact that the $25 or however much you decide is to keep the paperwork down from the forms and people?
No, no, it's just a fee because there's no administrative cost at all for this because it's volunteers that go out to approve.
So if we don't have that fee at all.
And the volunteers don't get paid for this, they're volunteers.
Right.
And we've had that fee forever because
Yes.
my pool, I built my pool on those and I had to pay $25. It's just not like it's turnover.
It's been
Yes,
since
and do it.
inception of the community.
Well, why don't we give it, why don't we use part of that money to get the volunteers gas money, get them gas cars, whatever, as they're driving around?
That's a slippery slope.
We don't want to go there. What I want to do is either keep it or get rid of it. That's the only two choices. Jeff?
I put it to ARC here.
Question. Go ahead, Trish.
What fund is this going into, $25?
It just goes into our regular operating bank accounts, the BB&T bank operating account. It just gets deposited in there. It's used to pay for all of our various expenses.
You can pay for what?
It's
Our various expenses that are
Okay.
budgeted
It's
for.
classified as income.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, the money gets deposited into the cash account. It's the same thing as assessments, you know? The
Yeah.
dollars get deposited into the cash account, operating account, and then it's reported as income. You know, it's basically, Leland just dumps it into, miscellaneous income. What it is, ARD.
So
I think they-
No, it's not. I mean, basically, last year, we had about $3,000 worth of ARD fees, okay? And this year, I only budgeted $1,500, just to be conservative. And if we have extra, then fine, but it's going towards the maintenance of the neighborhood, you know, that's, you know, we're not spending it for our own purposes or anything, you know?
Right.
It's not going into anyone's pocket, so, you know? So I suppose you just take a vote on this, you know, yay or nay, you know?
I just wanted to say one quick little thing. I mean, there are going to be people that object to the fact that if we do keep the money, it goes into some sort of, call it social things fund, call it clubhouse activities, call it whatever you want. But there is an absolute benefit to events being put on by the community for the community. In the same way that there is an absolute benefit to the fact that we have a clubhouse, we have a pool table, we have tennis courts, we have basketball courts. All of that comes out of the HOA funds, with the exception of the community events that benefit the community. I don't see the reason, I don't see why it would be such a bad thing to allocate that money for that. There are going to be a few detractors, just as I never use the tennis courts. I'm not going to complain about it. I could, but I'm not. It's there, it's an opportunity to fund these events, why not?
And when you sign your bylaws and your HOA and you buy your house and you sign your documents, that's on there. You will be charged a $25 fee, as long as it's hit in cost.
All right. Well, okay, I'm gonna make a motion that we, vote, and you vote however you wanna do, is the next, I'm gonna take the way I want to bring up, make a motion to remove the $25 ARC fee. Anybody second?
I'll second the motion.
Okay. All in favor? Aye.
Did we get Trish?
Trish?
We'd have 30 days.
Well,
Well, let's see.
she hasn't voted yet. Yay or nay for the removal of the ARC fee?
All right, who's the phone by ordinance next year, we'll leave it at 21.
Oh, okay.
Let me move it.
Here we go.
Okay, we voted on the removal of the $25 ARC fee. How do you vote, yay or nay?
Oh, boy. Well, considering that's only said it's what, 1,500 you're down from the last year?
Yeah,
That's what he budgeted for this year.
yeah.
Right. Before they go free. I'm fine with it.
You're fine with it, so that's a yay?
I'm fine with it.
Okay. All right.
She brought up a good point, though. Is it a change in the bylaw? Or is it a change in the documents?
It's the ARC.
It's application.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's not any kind of change.
About to say, that's a whole other issue.
It is in your bylaws.
Oh,
It
these
says
votes are
you
made.
may charge a fee, it doesn't say that you will charge.
Yeah. And most communities do not charge for this. And I'm thinking we're gonna get more compliance
Like
with that.
events,
Yeah.
Stony Brook events.
Okay, next up, Don, you have anything to report on the CCR documents?
Yes, what we're going to do is the next board meeting, I'm going to try to dust off the three amendments that we proposed several months ago, and we'll take another shot at that and hopefully get that passed through the board and get those to the attorney. These are the three amendments to give the residents the voting rights back for amendment changes on the declaration, articles, and bylaws. So that will be next meeting.
Okay, I guess I'm up for landscaping. I have the first report from Larry Evans Underground as to what he has been working on last week and this week started. This is what he has so far. It's lengthy, but there's going to be more of these to come, many of them. I spoke with him today. He wanted to make sure I got this. And if anybody wants to read it, you're welcome to read it, because this is what we are paying to repair right now on the irrigation system. It is a huge, huge repair. If anybody sees him, they're going to be working at the park to replace that. There's a pump there that needs replacing on that well. And that's where he's got to get the equipment out there and everything. That's what he said, that if you see the trucks, because they're going to be parked at the park, in the parking lot.
Would it be just cheaper to buy turf and put fake grass everywhere?
Probably, but since this is already in place and we have it, it's our duty to maintain it, and it's been pretty neglected over the years, and we have so many underground breaks, we have so many heads that do nothing but water concrete, and our turf boxes are sunken down. He's gonna raise these, he's gonna put gravel in them, I mean, there's a lot of work that he's gonna do. So, we're going to meet with him. Me and Don are going to go out and meet with him either Thursday or Friday this week, and he's going to take us around and show us so that we can inspect this as he goes, because I don't want to wait till the very end and then go through the whole system. I want to look at it as he's doing the
Probably
repairs.
plant cactuses and rocks. Or one of those Zen gardens where you
Well,
break
then you
stands.
got the liability if somebody gets stuck on your cactus, you know. So.
And shoot at each rock.
Yeah.
You can see a difference already. I saw them today down at the north entrance. You can actually see the hedge clear the grass,
Yeah.
and they're watering properly.
They're cutting away, there's so many heads that are tied down to the grass that hasn't raised up in years, and all it does is run down the curb and out on, I mean, there's so much water waste. And he said each head can put out 1.5 gallons of water, each head, and we have hundreds and hundreds of heads. So some of the heads are being changed out.
If you looked at it fast at the school we're all watching, and as they ran, you saw very little water
Right.
on the sidewalk.
This is one of the requirements that I told him that I wanted things adjusted so that we did not have flooded streets. And people that walked on the sidewalks are not going to get sprayed down. Because, or the kids, of course, we're going to make sure that they're off by the time the kids start walking to school. So, he's got a lot of work ahead of him, he's done a lot, so if anybody would like to look at this, you are welcome to look at it.
He's still scheduled to complete by March 10th.
Yep.
He feels comfortable with that?
Yep, that's, I mean, they're out here, he said they were out here last week at 7 a.m., but it was pouring down rain, so they really couldn't do anything. And, but they've been hitting it. If you want to look, Jeff, at this is what he sent me, I can send it to all of you.
Okay.
Maybe the parents
So that you can look at it
Yeah.
more visually.
I'd like to bump this up against his proposal, you know?
Yeah.
Cross the stuff off.
Yes, and that's exactly what I want to do, go through and check what he's doing and make sure what he's giving me has been done. And the best person to do that is Don with the irrigation, absolutely. So he's going to go out too, and we're going to meet with
He's
Larry.
gonna be monitoring it.
Oh, yeah,
Believe
yeah.
me,
Everything.
We'll take a picture of each one of those.
Take a picture of each one.
Every single one in detail.
See, I already made some notes on there because Don has, knows in those zones.
Yeah, I'll let you keep your notes.
Yeah,
If you
but-
can send that to us.
Yeah, I will.
Would you handle all the phone calls for Tom?
Yeah, I have to. Okay, next up is the social committee report. And right now, I don't personally have anything to report, but our next event is going to be Easter, since I think the Valentine thing kind of fell apart. And so I want to defer to Abe and let him,
Well, nothing.
if he's got anything planned, if he's,
Nothing is planned yet. We
you have to
need
get it
to
on there.
we need to set up a meeting
Okay,
and see what we're gonna do.
okay.
Choose a date. Get the ball rolling.
Yeah, do you, a lot of times people, when we used to do these events, we'd do it like the week prior to Easter, because that way if they had anything in their families or whatever right then they could still attend it. So, I mean, it's just thought, we do what you want, but, yeah,
Well, on our board, we'll go ahead and set up a meeting.
yeah.
All the address. And we'll go ahead and set it up.
Just put it on there and look at your calendars when they're available and all that. Because as soon as Easter eggs become available in the stores, if you're gonna hide Easter eggs, you better start buying them up because they go fast. And we had 1,500. I don't know where they went. I was told they were thrown away. Yeah, but, you know, so we're gonna have to start from scratch again.
Should we take all the Christmas decorations off the front of the neighborhoods first before we start celebrating Easter?
Yeah, that's way past due. We probably need
Where they
a,
at?
Trish,
Front of my neighborhood, Waverly. We still have our fake Christmas flowers and a wreath that's somewhat.
well, the flowers don't look that bad. They really don't. They're just some color out there, in my opinion, at Waverly. I don't think there's, you know, they're red and white, unless you get out and look at
Well,
them.
there's still the nice little
Christmas garland thing that's happening.
Trish, can you, whoever put up those decorations at Waverly, can you make sure that they're taken down? Out on the wall, they're saying. Next up, Don, I'm gonna let you talk about the pool slide.
Okay, this won't take but a few minutes. Due to the weather condition in Georgia, and I know you've had experience with all this weather and everything else going on, both manufacturers that we've got, Mason and Florida Plate Structures, are out of Georgia. So their plants were shut down, and now they're back up trying to get themselves going. I couldn't get any estimates out of them. And Natural Structures was waiting for a return call for a requirement that we had put on to them to enclose their slide. I just talked to him today before we came to the meeting. He says they're backed up too, so I don't have any estimates for you guys tonight. We would like to have a discussion after this meeting on the slide. Pam and I have both done some research. We visited a couple places for slides, so we can talk about that after the meeting.
And I just want y'all to know that they have drove to, was it St. Augustine and to Tampa to look at these slides. So they're putting in a lot of time and a lot of research on this.
There weren't enough water parks.
Election policy?
I have a policy with there, like the attorney.
Which attorney did this? Is this Clifton Hall?
Yes, Brian O'Connor.
Okay, I personally have not had a chance to really dive into this thing. So as far as I'm concerned, I'd like to table this.
I haven't.
Is that okay with you guys? All right. Is that okay, Trish, if we table the collection policy for the next meeting?
So that we can all look at it. Okay. The next up is a security update. Jeff, you have anything?
Okay. Well, we finalized the rules and regulations.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh, I'm marking all of them here. Okay, Jeff, hang on just a minute. We want to have Don give an update on the rules and regs for election.
I'm going to ask you.
Yeah.
Tricia, I did email this to you, so you should have it in your email. What I'd like to do is I promised to have this to the attorney on the 27th of January. I did not make that. I failed in doing that. So tonight, if we can make a move on this, then we can get it to the attorney ASAP. This is a copy of a ballot, and I'll explain this one to you. I took the ballot from what we had for last year and almost copied it verbatim in here, putting the changes that we would have liked to see to make sure that people are a little clear on what to do with it. So the main part that changes on the bottom, where we've got numbers 1 through 7, and it kind of gives you a bullet of what we need to do, like mark the ballot, and fold the ballot, put the ballot in the blue envelope, seal the blue envelope, place the blue envelope in the white envelope, seal the white envelope, so on and so forth. I know it really kind of dummied down to the point that hopefully you won't make a mistake with this, as we've seen in some of the other ballots that we've counted before. And so, since this is the same, you said the attorney.
Why couldn't we get this one?
I'm sorry, these 2 documents to the attorney, they have them reviewed, make sure we're not stepped on anything. Do I have a second? Yeah, all those in favor? Tricia?
Aye.
Okay. I communicate at the door. If you do answer, they ask for somebody and you're on the way. Until we're confident the burglaries in here have really slowed down, they're not getting a lot of reports. Actually, the flyer has done wonders from what I've seen so far, helping people get, basically reminding to lock their doors. That flyer that a lot of people volunteer their time to put out.
We'll start out door now?
Yes.
That created enough for him?
Yeah. I like your response to that.
That has helped immensely, but I would say for at least the first 45 to 60 days, I wouldn't have anybody here before 11, 12 o'clock at night.
All right. I appreciate that. And the reason why I asked that.
They're not supposed to tell you what time they come, because that would be,
Right.
I really
It can't be
hold
just
the
out
meeting to
there.
know, oh, they're gonna be here at this time.
No,
what's
no,
gonna
You
exactly.
will know, but nobody else will know.
Yeah, the board should be aware of
Yeah.
this stuff. And the thing is, like, that's what we have, that's what the arrangement we have with Shield Global. They provide their schedule for the month and stuff, and of course, Trish would use that to know when the clubhouse would be, attended to and all that stuff too, so. Now, having said all that,